What's up guys, today I'll be discussing the medic rifle in Battlefield 1 called the M1907 SL. There's three variants to this weapon. The factory variant, which allows for faster recoil reset and only gives you iron sights. The sweeper, which is essentially the same thing as the storm variant and offers lower vertical and horizontal recoil. And the trench, which offers lower hipfire spread increase. I'll discuss optimum strategies when using the weapon, as well as breaking down the symptic numbers to give you a better understanding of the weapons. All variants are essentially the same in terms of base stats, but they differ in terms of spread and weapon recoil behavior, but I'll discuss this all shortly. Interesting to note, this weapon can be fired in full auto mode. You have to be anywhere between kit rank 1 and 3 for the medic class to unlock it, and you'll have to spend 200 war bonds for each variant to unlock them all. So let's get to the stats. To start, the M1907 is a rifle with a 299 round per minute fire rate, a 570 meters per second bullet velocity, a 12 meters per second squared gravitational constant, which means you're going to suffer substantial bullet drop over longer ranges, but I highly doubt you're going to be anywhere near the ranges that you're going to see this happen, at least with this weapon. The magazine size is 21, and in terms of reload speeds, when reloading from empty, it will take 3.5 seconds and 2.3 seconds when there's a round left in the chamber. The damage chart's a bit interesting. It says that it has a base damage of 42 up to 17 meters away. Then the damage drops down to 23 at 39 meters and stays that way from 39 meters on. For Battlefield 1, the damage multipliers are 1.7 times for headshots, 1 times for upper body shots, and 0.96 times for lower body, arms, and legs. So in general, it makes the SL a 3-shot kill weapon when only hitting body shots inside of 17 meters, and past that, assuming you aren't hitting headshots, it will take 5 shots to kill. In terms of recoil, the factory and trench have 0.8 degrees of vertical recoil and 0.42 degrees of horizontal recoil, both left and right. The sweeper variant has the same horizontal recoil profile at 0.42 degrees, but it has lower vertical recoil at 0.56 degrees. Of note, the factory variant, as expected, will have the best recoil decrease rating of 6 versus the other two variants which have a rating of 4. In terms of evaluating spread, all variants are exactly the same in terms of spread when aiming down the sights while stationary or when moving. All variants have 0.21 degrees of spread when aiming down sights and not moving, and when aiming down sights and moving, they have 0.79 degrees of spread. So there's no definitive winner here in terms of which variant you should choose if you really wanted to minimize spread. For hip firing, standing, and not moving, the factory and sweeper variants encounter 2 degrees of spread. The trench variant is the best as expected at 1 degree of spread. When standing, hip firing, and moving, you will encounter 2.5 degrees of spread for the factory and sweeper, but only 1.5 degrees of spread for the trench variant. So again, not surprising news, the trench variant, as expected, has much lower hip fire spread when moving or not moving and hip firing, and that's exactly what this weapon variant is actually designed to do. It allows you to get more aggressive hip fire in close quarters situations. Last 2 points of note with regard to spread. The factory variant has the best spread decrease per shot with a rating of 7.5 degrees per shot versus 3.75 degrees of spread decrease per shot versus the other two variants. So if you want to actually minimize spread decrease overall, the factory variant is the way to go, especially if you're going to be aiming down sights. And if you want to hip fire and spray and pray while moving, then the trench variant's the one you want to go with. So basically, what weapons or what ranges and situations does this weapon excel? The trench variant will be your best bet in close of, say, inside 10 meters or so because of the hip fire spread being reduced to as low as possible, as well as being able to maintain your mobility as well. But the sweeper variant's your best bet if you want to minimize recoil while aiming down sights. The 299 round per minute fire rate will help significantly versus many other medic rifles with lower fire rates for overall DPS damage in close, especially when using the trench variant. The weapon has a very strong damage model inside of 17 meters, and for maximizing your effectiveness and to basically get the kill as quickly as possible, that's about where you're going to want to stay. The SL has a massive damage drop-off shortly after 17 meters, and by close to 40 meters away, So basically beyond 20 meters or so, you're probably better off looking at other medic weapon options. The damage model suggests that it's a monster inside of about 20 meters or so, 17 to be safe, and past that, you're going to be probably wanting to look elsewhere. So the big question, what's my rating and would I use it often? I'd say it's definitely one of your best bets for closer range engagements if you're looking for a closer range, more aggressive medic weapon, as opposed to usually what's the standard of medic rifles of choosing medium range engagements. The SL is that aggressive in close weapon. The pros it has for it are the high damage archetype inside of 17 meters, good fire rate, large magazine size, and a good choice of variants for aggression. Say if you want to get really in close to 5 to 10 meters, you can choose the trench for hip fire aggression. And if you want that, say 15 to 20 meter aggressive range, you can basically just choose between factory or the sweeper variant, depending on if you want lower recoil or lower overall, like decreased spread or decreased spread and recoil between shots. You can choose the factory. Either one works if you're going to choose that 15 to 20 meter range between the sweeper or the factory. But if you want really aggressive and you think you're going to be hip firing, then I'd suggest going for the trench. Of note for this weapon though, compared to other medic weapons, after the drop off point of about 17 meters, each non-headshot hits for only 23 damage, so in comparison to say the Mondragon, which does 35 damage, it's very clear that this is not going to be a weapon you want to use at longer range encounters, so make sure not to use it there. You want to be in close or maybe slight medium to optimize your success. As for my rating, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. In its close range niche, it's actually quite effective in the right hands, and you can maintain that aggression that, say, because most of the time if you wanted a shotgun or the Automatico, you'd have to switch to assault. But say you wanted to stay as medic, you can choose this weapon. It gives you an alternative of a good damage model. The problem though is that long medium to longer range versatility that a lot of the other archetypes, such as the Mondragon Storm, has, this one does not. You will need more damage output at longer ranges because of the lower damage model, and I can't give it a much higher rating than 8 for that reason. So that's the rating, 8 out of 10. If you liked the video, please leave a like, share the video if you feel someone would enjoy it, and subscribe for more if you'd like to see more of these types of videos. See you later, YouTube.